And that could be important because, oh, trouble.
Uh-oh. Ooh, that's Danica Patrick and Michael McDowell. Oh, man, she's torn up pretty bad.
We're driving on the ramp. You can here.
And that's a second wreck today for Michael. We saw him spin on the straightaway there and get into the wall, and now it looks like he's had another issue and collected Danica Patrick.
So caution out for the third time in this race, and some pretty heavy damage to the 7 car as swept up in a crash involving Michael McDowell and Danica Patrick with a machine that is really beaten up.
It has been up pretty bad. I know Michael McDowell really wanting to run well for his sponsor Monte Carlo here in town, and they had a big to-do over there, and I know he was really wanting to do a good job for him, but that's a bent-up race car. I don't think he's going to get that one back out today.
And again, McDowell involved in a crash back at lap number 16 in turn 1 when his car went around pretty much by himself, returned to the race, but now after being down some 65 laps to the leaders has been involved in another crash again, and this one involving Danica Patrick as well. Have a look.
What happens here? Go off down the corner. It looks like Michael's losing a little bit of speed. She runs in there pretty snug on him. She said he turned down, but it looked to me like she ran in there and there just wasn't enough room. I think she slid up just a little bit and got into the left rear of Michael. And they went for a ride.
No turn signals on these cars.
No,
Judging
baby.
Intentions can be a little tough without hand signal out the window.
May have just misjudged a little bit of distance there, closing distance.
On board.
Trying to go by him, and yeah, he does turn down just a little bit, but they're going into the corner, so he has to make the arc. And you see the rubbered up part right there on the bottom of the racetrack. That's where he was going, and it looks like she was trying to beat him to the punch, and they just collided. AB, too bad.
So Patrick headed to the pit lane and to the garage with a heavily damaged car, and this sets up an interesting situation. We're 15 laps from halfway, which is where I was going, and by the way, there are rain showers on the radar.
So that gives you an idea. Now you're caught up, and look at the fans. No matter what happens, they want to see what's happening to Danica Patrick and the 7 car. It looks like we won't see her again now behind the wheel for another 4 months until we go IndyCar racing.
Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. NASCAR Nationwide Series action presented by GoDaddy.com. Under caution here, an incident on the racetrack involving a couple of drivers, including Danica Patrick. And Danica, from your vantage point, what happened out there?
A car ahead of me was just going really slow, and I caught him down the front straight, and he was just going slow, so I went to go underneath him as he drifted up to the wall, and then he turned down in, and I guess I probably should have seen all the tape on the left rear bumper and said I probably shouldn't be on the left rear bumper. But sure enough, he turned down and took us both out. So what are you gonna do? You know, it's a real bummer because I was really hooked up out there after we got new tires back on it, and you know, we were probably one of the quicker cars on the track because we had just stickered up, and I felt good. And you know, Kevin Harvick was great actually, leading the race. He's telling me to go up high with him, so you know, that was cool, and I was able to run up high and feel that line out because you know, because he was giving me the finger out the window. So you know, that's really cool to see that because the guy's leading the race and he's taking time to help me out. So, and the top line was good. So, and I kept trying to remember what he said before the race, being driving into the corner. So, I learned for sure. We had a good car. We really did. And I said that when, you know, earlier, we have a better car than where we qualified. And unfortunately, we just got caught in a bad situation with a driver that wasn't looking and probably a spotter that wasn't calling.
From a confidence standpoint, what does it do for you knowing that when they waved the green flag, you made a move and started passing people right away and moving up in the field?
Well, departure from Fontana, where I pretty much just let out of it, and because I didn't feel comfortable, and I didn't feel like throwing it into the wall because I'm not a crasher. It felt good, you know, making passes from the beginning. The only little hiccup really was on that first restart, I think, when there was the line stopped up, and I wasn't sure what the rules were about passing before the start-finish line, but I could have passed to the right, so I could have saved myself some spots there. But all in all, I mean, I was having fun out there, so it's just a shame that we got taken out.
We can't wait to get you back in June to have some more fun. Good luck to you in IndyCar.
Thank you.
Marty?
All right, Doc, and we want to make sure you understand the finger that she was referring to being pointed was come on up here on the high side, and the way that came out and the gesture wasn't quite seen by there it is, right there. Thanks, guys in the tape room.
He's trying to motion her, say, hey, look, let's move up to the outside here. Follow me. You know, go up here on this outer lane. You can pick up some speed. I think he's really trying to help her here.
I was hoping that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
it really looks like it is, because he did it for so long. You're right, Andy. He kept pointing to the right-hand side. Get up here. Let's go.
Well, unfortunately for Kevin, though, his pit crew on the last 2 stops have really put him into a hole. He is now in 9th position.